Hello and a warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chidimartlu, as you all know, and today I'm actually so excited. I'm bringing to you something very different, something very unique, lovely conversation dear to my heart. And this is a pre-registration question and answer session with a colleague of mine. His name is Sadiq. I've known Sadiq from since I actually moved to the UK, since pre-reg started, and he's been so super helpful to me. So today we're just going to be doing a question and answer session where I ask Sadiq to pick a number and he just selects what number he wants, and then all the questions are going to be more tailored to pre-reg. It's going to be a little bit more, there will be some sort of vulnerability there. It's going to be like a deep, hopefully the questions he picks would be like something deep and things like that. But yeah, thank you so much, Sadiq, for joining me. Welcome to today's episode. Could you please start by, thank you. Well, your name is actually clearly here. I was going to say, start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, my name is Dory too.
But yeah, so let's hear from you.
You can call me Sadiq. A lot of people know me as Adibo Ali back in Nigeria, and here in the UK, most people know me as Sadiq. So, fully Sadiq Adibo Ali Adibayo.
Perfect. I know, it's such a long name, but that's really good. Okay, so Sadiq is a fully qualified optometrist in the UK, just like myself. So it's, like I said, this is a very exciting conversation for me personally, because I've been through a lot through pre-reg. So I want to hear how people's experiences and basically what it's been like for them. So Sadiq, we have questions from 1 to 10. What's your first question? Sorry, what's your first number?
School now. I said school in church. There you should pray to be number one. So I was number one question.
You're very lucky. You're very, very lucky. Okay. So number one question is, describe your pre-reg in 3 words and why.
I would say it was good.
One.
And why was, I think, most peculiar problems that a lot of people had. I was not exonerated from them, but I was able to. I was up to the challenge, so to say, and I was able to surmount the challenges. So it was a process that helped me not just in qualification, but also mentally helped me in terms of character development in many cases. So for me, the process was good and it was necessary. I had a very good time in terms of how the process went, and the results I was able to gather after the process has been very fantastic to date. So I would say the process was very good.
Okay, but you just given me only one word. You said it was good.
Yes, good, because
3 words.
Okay.
Give me precise answers.
Okay.
Good.
Do you mean 3 adjectives
3
in
words.
the scripture? That was why I said it was good. 3 words.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No way. Are you kidding?
I would put it this way.
3 words. So literally,
good.
Yeah.
Okay. It was.
Describe it. Yeah.
Aha. That's why I said okay. So I would say good.
Good. Mm-hmm.
I would say refining.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I said necessary is not a very good word, but it was good, it was refining, and it was challenging. Yes. It was good.
I was waiting for that. I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah, because good in the sense that the process went in a way that I wanted it to go. Refining in the sense that I think I'm far better in my academics, in my career, in things I know as an optometrist and I'm able to do. I'm far better in terms of my character and my ability to read situations and my proactiveness. And it was challenging in the sense that there were so many things that were attached to the pre-reg. Pre-reg is not just you going to work, you're writing exams, you have your family, you are earning money, you are jostling a lot of things together. So the challenge that comes with it, and again, settling into a new country and a new culture, a new way of doing things, a new way of saying things.
Yeah.
So, in terms of that aspect, it was a little bit challenging, and it took me a good few months for me to really settle. So the process itself is not just you going looking into people's eyes. There are lots of things that are added to it, and all those things has to be very balanced. And if they're not balanced, they can make the process a bit more difficult.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Thank you. So good, challenging, and refining. Perfect.
yes.
What's your next number?
So go to
Number one
number
is
10.
out.
Number
Are you
one.
kidding? Are you kidding?
Go to number 10.
No way. Okay. Okay, fine. How did you get to know about pre-reg?
Well, I got to know about pre-reg via a senior colleague of hers. I saw her on Instagram and I saw that the background looks like a UK background. I had it in mind of traveling, so to say, because my wife was due to leave and I wanted a situation whereby I could also practice as an optometrist. So I sent her a message on Instagram. She was kind enough to reply, and she did also send a link to a WhatsApp group that consisted of other Nigerian optometrists or international optometrists who were either in the process or about to start the process. So it was a WhatsApp group, consisted of about 35 people, and that was how I started learning about the process. There was a lady, Ghanaian lady, Agnes, who was kind enough to put me through and all this. So that was how I was able to get to know, because my thoughts were you cannot practice as an optometrist in the UK.
Right. Well, here you are, fully qualified now,
And thanks to God.
living the life.
Not yet. Well,
I know you
hopefully
are. You
soon.
definitely are. Honestly. Okay. Right. So, what's your next number? Straight to the one.
We'll go to number 2.
We've just done number 2, but no way. We're
No,
not doing
number
these.
2.
We're not doing. We've just
Number
done number
1,
2.
number 10, number 2. I said number 1. I said number 10.
No, you said number 2.
No.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
I said number
No
10.
way.
You gave me number 2 question.
I was about to say that's like literally saying like no way. Oh my
Okay,
god.
let's get to number 10.
So we're going number 10. Okay, so
Yes.
number 10 is. So tell me your top 3 tips to pass stage 1.
Stage one is easy. Staying organized. You cannot beat that.
Okay.
If you're not organized as in pre-reg,
Yeah.
stage one especially, just forget it, because you see yourself spending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first thing is staying organized. And if you're organized, you'll be able to plan, get all your notes, patient competencies that you need. You have a place in which you're storing it, a file that you have. And number 2, being friendly to the staff. Yes, that's a very important thing, because if you're not, in quotes, friendly, you're not approachable, or they don't, in quotes, like you, it will make things a bit difficult. Because if things are difficult, one, you won't be able to get your necessary competencies.
Right.
You will stay probably on the shop floor for longer than necessary. On days that you're supposed to be testing in the test room, you're on the shop floor doing whatever. There are cases whereby they would themselves look out for you. Oh, this person needs an anisometric prescription, or she needs a color vision, or it needs this, it needs that. if you do not have a good relationship with people,
Yeah.
especially the members of staff, you would have a bit of problem in your stage one, because your stage one is when you're settling in, you're getting to start the process by itself. So staying organized, good relationship with people, and your
Hmm.
supervisor. If you have a bad or poor relationship from the very start with your
Yeah.
supervisor, he or she has the ability to make the pre-reg more or
To
less
make
like
or mar you.
time. And again, reading, because everything you're going to be asked all through your OSCE from stage one to stage two to OSCE falls back on stage one. So if you're able to master the necessary competencies, the skills, the literal work, you should have no problem. So a lot of times we are in that mindset of, oh, I'm coming from another country, I'm coming to settle. But in my head, I saw pre-reg as and like a master's degree, that I
Mm.
was coming to read, I was coming to study, and things like that. So staying organized, being having a very good relationship with everyone you come in contact with, even the patients, and also reading, studying, the
That
hard
is
work
amazing.
of reading. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Actually, like the fact that you had that mindset of like master's degree,
Yeah.
it's very helpful mentality to have because it kind of keeps you on your toes and
Yeah.
gives you that,
It
edge
just puts
to,
it in your mind that what you're
yeah.
coming to do, you're not coming to the
It's not just
vibe.
work, like it's just
Yeah,
like you're coming to like really study
exactly.
and know this thing. Oh, that's really good.
Number 9.
Number 9 is, have you ever experienced any racial discrimination? And if you have, tell us.
No,
Oh,
no.
that's good.
Uh, of course, it exists. I know
Yeah.
there are people who are probably racist, but not before me. Because if you do before me, I'm a kind of person that if you give me if you challenge me in anything, I'm likely going to tell you off while you're
Mm.
there.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any situation like that personally. If
Mm.
people did it behind me, maybe yes. All through, even where I live, the town I am, I've not seen anybody do it to me on the
Mm.
basis of color. So
Yeah.
racism, in essence, is a form of discrimination on the
Yeah.
basis of color.
Yeah.
I know I'm not jollof rice. Not everybody would like me, but
Yeah.
I do not take it to heart that if someone does anything wrong, it's on the
Mm.
basis of my
Oh,
color.
yeah.
So, in terms of racism, racist experience, me being a victim,
Hmm.
maybe in future it could happen, maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
Me,
that actually makes sense. Yeah, I like that mindset, and I do have that mindset as well. Like when someone has any issues with me, like I don't. My first thought is not, oh, it's because I'm black. Like I know I get people who do that. I'm like, what if it's just personality? Like I wouldn't
yeah,
really think that that color is
people
the
offend
reason.
me.
Yeah,
People offend me, offended me while I was in
yeah,
Nigeria. I didn't put it in my heart that, oh, he's doing this because I'm of a particular tribe,
mm,
particular
yeah,
skin.
exactly.
So people are doing the same thing here.
Yeah,
Albeit, I know it exists.
yeah,
Albeit, I know that other people may have experienced this, and I'm not trying to invalidate their experiences or to play down or undermine the actions that comes with racism. But
mm.
in my personal space, I have not experienced that.
So what's your last
Number
question?
5.
Last number 5. Okay, number 5. How many times did you do your stage 2?
Well, stage 2 was probably my hardest phase. I did it
Yeah.
twice,
Mm,
and I did it in a way that the first time I did a direct observation, and
mm,
the direct observation for both the contact lenses and the sight tests on a day. Then 8 days later, I was to do the overarching assessment. But 2 or 3 days towards the overarching assessment, I fell ill. and
Mm.
because of that, I could not study, and I was not myself. It was the examination was in the evening, and that day I had not eaten anything and things like that. And at the end of it all, I failed because my level of reasoning, my way of thinking that day was not quick, was not fast,
Mm.
and I had maybe one of the meanest assessors, because almost everyone who had him or who has had him, uh, most people failed him. He failed them.
Yeah.
So I
Mm.
don't know if that's a part, but I personally know that I didn't do very well in that assessment. And that stage two was one of the refining moments in my entire career and being,
Mm.
because I failed it. That was, I think, 8th of November, and the OSCE registration was to close 2nd of December.
Right.
So a week after, that was, I think, 15th, I was
Mm-hmm.
given a new date for the 2nd of December.
Wow.
And I knew that if I was able to pass, I would be able to write January OSCEs. So
Yeah.
that 2 weeks, I dedicated it to some levels of reading that I had never done before. I
Oh.
was going to work and returning home to read, going to work, returning home to read. And my wife was very understanding then. She was able
No,
to,
bless her.
she knew what was at stake, and she gave me the personal space that I needed.
Mm.
I was only coming out to go to work, eat, use the bathroom, and going back to read. And thankfully, I was able to pass that at one sitting without having to repeat it again. So
Mm.
stage two for me, I did it twice, the overarching twice, I mean, but that was a very refining moment in,
Oh.
I would say, my
Yeah.
entire career.
Well, at
Yes.
least we helped you with your OSCE because, like, obviously you just smashed
Yeah,
it.
because I was able to carry on the momentum
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
December
Exactly.
into January or ski,
Yeah.
which also helped.
Oh, that is so good to hear. Honestly,
Thank
like there's just so many questions. If time permitted us, I literally would go on and on and on to find out more. But I'm so glad that we were able to at least, have all these conversations. And I think
thank
questions that
you.
we've been able to respond to, are, I think when people hear it, they will find it quite helpful. Before we go, can you just give us like a closing statement, of what your advice is? Assume if someone is just like, um, hoping to start pre-reg, what would you advise them? Just some straightforward like advice, and
So the
there's a
three things.
different levels. People who are yet to go, people who are yet to come to the UK, people who are already like just starting, and then people who are into it as well. So
Okay,
please, be fast,
so
quick.
people who are yet to come to the UK,
Yeah.
what I would say, I understand the rush,
Mm.
the eagerness to come to the UK, albeit just like primary care and tertiary care, the treatments you receive at the first time would determine how it's going to be for the rest of the person's treatment. So also your first experience of the town, the city, the store you're going to work with can determine how the whole pre-reg would be. So
Mm.
it's always good to make a groundwork of where you're going to live. Every other thing that is aside the pre-reg would affect the pre-reg. So knowing where you're going to live, who you're going to live with, the store you're going to be, the culture of the store is very, very important to the success of your pre-reg. No matter how good you may be in Nigeria, if you get to the wrong supervisor, the wrong store, it may make the process very, very challenging. So
Mm.
it's always very good to be in the right place and trust God to push you and to lead your ways into the right places. And once you start the pre-reg, before you start the pre-reg, just prepare. Like I said, I considered it like a master's program, and I was getting ready in my mind to read, to study, and to do all things that are necessary. That's what I would say if you have not started pre-reg. If you're already in pre-reg and you're probably in stage one, like I said, staying organized, keeping a very good relationship with people, and also studying art. There are no two rules about it, because there is a difference between you being a very good student and you knowing how to be a good communicator and a good person. So if you have those qualities, I do think in a large extent things would work well for you. I'm a person that believes very much in God and I believe very much in prayer. So I would advise take God seriously. In a country like this, it is easy and very comfortable to live life without thinking about an higher power besides you. So I think that if you're able to connect to the higher power in terms of God, it can help you to make the correct decisions. And the fear that people have when they get into these things, the fear you have when you're going to stage two, the fear, the crippling fear that you have in Huskies, also
Crippling,
very,
indeed.
very important thing to know how to deal with. So your emotional intelligence also has to be very high. Knowing how to keep things together is also very, very key.
Oh, honestly, couldn't even keep up right now. But honestly, that's amazing. Thank you so much for all of those wise
Yes.
words. Uh, Hopefully, everyone who gets to hear this and who is already in the process would find one or two things and hold on to it strongly. I mean, when it comes to like choosing your supervisor or choosing your store, a lot of times it's difficult to know what to
We don't
expect.
choose supervisors though.
Sorry,
You
like
can
what I
choose
mean,
the
like
store.
yeah, of choosing the store actually, like it's difficult because you don't really know. You just there's really not much you can do in terms of trying to find out who this person is, how kind they are, what you know. I guess it's just what if you pray, whatever happens, happens, and you just go with the flow, basically. So I guess just put it out there, like no pressure. If you go into that place and then you find that it's not working for you, just see how things go. There's always going to be a way around things, you know. But yeah, thank you so much, Sadiq. I'm so glad that you know honored
Sorry, just
yeah,
one last thing.
yeah.
Join groups. Aha, very important. Join all those
Doing
Telegram
good.
groups where three
Yes,
people,
sir.
five people are together in a certain stage, especially for people who are already doing pre-regis. Those groups,
Yeah.
don't just
Yes,
join
sir.
and listen, join and
Yeah.
participate. Those
Yeah.
groups were very, very helpful to me. That's
Mm.
also a very key thing. I'm
And
sorry.
me too. Ah, that's the way I met Sadiq.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just
Yeah,
remembered now.
me
I said,
too. Oh my
these
gosh.
are
No,
the
no,
ways
no. The
I've been
groups
able
are
to
life
pass.
changing.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I think that's like one of the big things as well.
Yes. Very
Like
important.
try not to be alone. Like
Isolated.
try to just, you know, always join in and add up to that. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy
Having
the
me.
rest of your evening. I hope to see you soonest.